Hello and welcome to Cinecrisis. Today we're taking a look back at the perennial holiday classic Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966. When you talk about the big five animated Christmas specials from the 60s, and by that I mean Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, A Charlie Brown Christmas, and of course How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch is in my opinion at the top of the heap, and that's some pretty stiff competition because I really do love all five of them. The special tells the story of the mean and nasty Grinch who hated Christmas so much that he decides on Christmas Eve to steal all the presents and decorations of the residents of Whoville while dressed as Santa Claus in order to prevent the holiday from coming. So what is it about this special that's now 55 years old that makes everyone want to watch it year after year, even when there's been more modern adaptations of the story, including 2 feature films? A half-hour special allows the simplicity of the storybook nature of the Grinch to come alive much better than a 2-hour movie for sure, but runtime alone isn't sufficient explanation. The gorgeously simple yet expressive animation, the catchy and infectious songs, and the powerful voices lend itself to a formula for perfection. Released before Christmas of 1966, this animated half-hour special is of course based on the Dr. Seuss children's book of the same name, released only 9 years before in 1957, and was produced and directed by none other than Chuck Jones, who worked on some of the greatest Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons for Warner Brothers in the Golden Age. So not only does the special boast the pedigree of a true animation legend like Jones as director, but Theodore Geisel, Dr. Seuss himself, actually worked on the special with him as co-producer and lyricist for the songs. Jones had previously worked with Geisel back in the 1940s on the Private Snafu Army training cartoons, so even though Geisel had become disillusioned with Hollywood after his bad experience on the feature film The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, he must have trusted Jones enough to let him adapt the Grinch. And if that weren't enough, to top things off, the narrator and voice of the Grinch was provided by one of my favorite actors of all time, horror movie icon Boris Karloff. Yes, Boris Karloff, the man who brought the Frankenstein monster, Imhotep the mummy, and Dr. Fu Manchu to life on screen, is now breathing life into the Grinch. Karloff's portrayal of the Grinch is of course classic in modern retrospective, and he brings the same sinister charm and sense of sophistication to the character that he did with so many great villainous roles. As great as Karloff is as the Grinch, he does often get miscredited as the singing voice in the special, and that distinction belongs to a gentleman named Thurl Ravenscroft, who provides the deep bravado for the now timeless song, "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." What's also great, like so many other specials of the day, is that there is a wonderful message at the heart of the story about not exactly the true meaning of Christmas, but at least a hint at the more deeper meaning against commercialism and consumerism. But most of all, in the end, the story is about redemption and learning from your mistakes. How even after doing something so awful, you can still find absolution. So with that in mind, How the Grinch Stole Christmas remains one of the all-time great Christmas specials and a favorite of my own to watch every year because it just wouldn't be Christmas without the Grinch. If you like this review, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time. And Merry Christmas from Cinecrisis.